What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another post-game recap as the Thunder win. But the Lakers win by losing in reality, guys, simply because we need a tank. And, I don't expect us to get any more wins, during the rest of this stretch. 4 games left. The season officially ends on next Tuesday. So, we got officially 7 more games of regular season. So just enjoy, man. Enjoy these final games. I actually kind of enjoyed this game. It was competitive. I can't believe that we stayed in this game as long as we did without LeBron, Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram, Josh Hart, basically anybody of substance other than young players, G Leaguers, and, a bunch of vets. So we stayed in there. That means that the Thunder are in trouble, but we already knew that. We said they were pretenders even earlier in the season when they were balling. I remember people asking me, "Hey, do you think the Thunder are legit? Do you think, they're legit contenders?" I said, "No, man. They're obviously, they're just pretending." And you can see it late in the season that's when you can really see who they are. They struggle versus us. Bunch of role players on this team right now. And, they barely beat us. They pulled away there late. But it took a 20-20-20 game from Russell Westbrook for them to win. How many 20-20-20 games is he going to have in the playoffs? Probably none. So that pretty much tells you, it's an impressive stat, but the guy pads his stats like crazy, man. I don't even see Steven Adams trying to crash the glass. They leave all the rebounds to Russ. Nonetheless, it's still impressive that he got a 20-20-20 game. So, congratulations to him. First player since Wilt Chamberlain to do it. So that's a little impressive. I'll give him that. But all in all, guys, I like the effort from the Lakers. KCP continues to hoop. Now, he's reached a new level of confidence, and I was actually debating with Twitter about if the Lakers should bring him back on a cheap contract. I'm talking like $5 million if he accepts a role off the bench. I say, why not? Because imagine if he's starting to become the shooter that we need off the bench. For $5 million, I think I would do it. Now, I think he's going to demand a lot more money, and I don't want him for anything close to what I think he's going to demand. But if he's willing to humble himself and admit that the Lakers already overpaid him the first 2 years he was here, and he comes back his third season on a $5 million deal just to compete for the playoffs, then I would take him. However, other than that, no. But, man, he's found himself a new confidence and a new jumper. He's starting to pull up from everywhere, and he's consistently hitting. I see that he's been working with a shooter, and it's paying off. Hopefully the rest of the Lakers work with the same shooter, man. He needs to pass over his business partner to the rest of the team. Alex Caruso is definitely a keeper, though. He's probably been the most impressive Laker in this final stretch of the season. With all these injuries, he has really stepped up to the plate and made the most out of his opportunity. Thanks, Alan. I appreciate you too, brother. Alex Caruso has truly made the most out of his opportunity. Again, I compare him to extremely poor man's Manu Ginobili, because I don't want to disrespect the Hall of Famer, but Caruso does some similar things. He gets in the lane, he finishes above the rim, and he's a high flyer for his appearance. He doesn't look like he'd be super athletic, but man, never judge a book by its cover. Look at the way he plays. Reminds me a lot of Ginobili. He has a couple of inside moves. He finishes with either right or the left hand, and he plays the pick and roll extremely well, and his defense is not bad at all. So, it's interesting to see what they're going to do with him. Dan, shout out Nip Hart. Yeah, man, shout out to Nipsey Hussle again. Crankshaw's finest, man. Recently passed away. So it's always sad, man. But, we got to continue to do it. The type of things he was doing for the community, we got to continue to carry that forward because, hopefully he didn't die in vain. Everything he laid out, his groundwork and all that stuff, man. People just need to embrace that and continue to push his legacy forward, But at the end of the day, man, let me tell you something. Enjoy every single day you're here with your family and friends, man, because you never know if it could be your last. Every day is a gift, Not to quote Kung Fu Panda, but what's that saying goes by Master Oogway? What was it? Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. That's one of my favorite quotes, man. Yes, I do like cartoon movies, especially, the ones with so much wisdom that you can actually apply to your life. So enjoy every day, guys, because you never know, man. Look at Nips. I bet you he never thought that was going to be the last day on earth for him. And, it's tough. It's still tough. We're still recovering from that, man. But, we're going to try to push forward. But back to the Lakers, man. I like the effort they played with. I really like Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner is continuing to show me that he can stretch the floor, that he can continue to improve. I like the way he attacks. He's fearless when he attacks. Sure, he doesn't always make it, but he attacks with aggression, and the kid is going to continue to get better. I tweeted this again today. Some people didn't agree, but I believe he's a starting caliber big man on some team. If it ain't the Lakers, it'll be somewhere, because he is something that I think can really develop into something really good. Just like I thought about Zoo and certain players, right? You just see certain little traits in players, and the way he plays hard at all times. He's not the biggest or the strongest, but he has active hands, and he boxes out well, and he does all these little things. So, yeah, you're right, Vern. He should have been playing all year. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is at this point. But Caruso, Mo Wagner, I like the way JaVale's been playing consistently after he recovered from his little infection he had. He's been playing a lot better, looking like the earlier version of himself when we were actually talking about him maybe even being an all-star before he got injured. But JaVale looks like a keeper. If he wants to come back for a similar type contract, bring him back. Rondo, as much as I love Rondo, I feel like he's going to be a year older. And in the offense we're trying to run, he's very turnover prone, because he's always trying to force things that he probably could do when he was younger, but he might not be able to do now. So that's why I'm on the fence about Rondo. But if he wants anywhere near the $9 million, I say no. Give that money to, give that quarter of whatever he's asking for to Caruso. Bring him back as a backup guard. He plays his game. Today he got a little sloppy, had a couple of turnovers, but that's all right. He plays within his game for the most part and does what he's supposed to do. But, man, I'll tell you, I was impressed that the Lakers hung in there for the majority part of the game, and they made it hard for the Thunder. That's all we needed to do. We collected the L. We needed that as well. And, we'll continue to get better moving forward. But these last 4 games, again, they're against some of the top playoff teams, including the Golden State Warriors. So I'm expecting 4 more losses, and we'll go from there. I'll tell you a couple of questions, guys. Let's see. He said, LeBron and Kuzma love each other. I hope so. We need to start building chemistry for next year, and we don't need these trade rumors to get in the way anymore. So, yeah, hopefully they start building chemistry, man. I heard that Kuzma was over at LeBron's crib the other day. That's good to watch. On Twitter. Twitter catches everything, so they caught Kuzma putting a chain around LeBron's neck. That's whatever to me, But at the end of the day, man, we gotta hope for camaraderie. See, there goes that word again. Camaraderie. I don't know how to say it. You know what I'm talking about, guys. You guys always spell it out for me and stuff, but that's the one word in my vocabulary that I struggle saying, man. Camaraderie or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to say it wrong. But so thank you for your time, Dan. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you guys for your time. He said, Dan, what do you think about Juwan Howard being the favorite to be our coach? I think that's fake news, and I think, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I'll believe it when I see it, man. We've had 4 favorites, all of a sudden come out of the blue, come out of nowhere. So he said, let's hope Josh Hart can be healthy next year. Yeah, him too, man. Injury bug bit his hard this year, and it is what it is. He said, Dan, Clipper fans have been acting very arrogant lately. It's annoying. Just ignore them, man. Just remember, the Clippers are in their own league. They're in a beach volleyball league somewhere. They're their own competition, because nobody even knows who the Clippers are. They're basically the doppelgangers of the Lakers. They try to copy us, but they're not as real as we are. So pretty much, they're going to get killed off. Clippers are fake, man. They need to move out of the city for reals. And I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but Zubats, I'm sorry, bro. No Laker fans are going to go watch you at Clipper games. It just doesn't work that way, man. Now, however, you do become a free agent. If you want to take a pay cut and come back with us, you're more than welcome to join, man. Jason Kidd will help our offense, and he'd really help our guards. Absolutely. DTLF, our upcoming beatdown of the Warriors will send a message throughout the league. I see you still want us to win, John, but at this point, man, I just want us to continue to develop young talent and catch the final 4 L's that'll hopefully position us into the top 10 as far as the lottery odds go. Hey, Dan, the other day I went back and watched some of your old lottery reactions and draft reactions. That is lit. Can't wait for this year's lottery. Me too. Hey, let me tell you something, bro. If we get a top 3 pick, I'm going to lose it, man. I'm going to lose my cool. Did you see that Ivanka Zubac said and the Clippers? Again, they're always trying to twist people's words, so I'm not going to buy it. I know that Ivica Zubac still wishes he was a Laker at heart. So, again, he's going to be a free agent. If he wants to take a pay cut and come back, he's welcome to. I don't hate him. I just hate his team. I got you, John. I got you, bro. I got plenty of roasting for those Clippers, man. Seriously. The Los Angeles doppelgangers. Yeah, man. If you guys have seen us, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Dan, what do you think about we should get Kyrie Irving in my hometown? In your hometown, I'm not sure what your hometown is. I'm assuming you're talking about the Lakers. Yeah, Kyrie Irving would be great. He'd be extremely fun to watch. He'd be the best guard we had since Kobe Bryant. So I know it sounds like a long time. Kobe just retired a couple years back, but that's a big deal, man. To get a guard of that magnitude and caliber that could really orchestrate and get us into our sets and is able to attack off of the pick and rolls, that would be huge for the Lakers. So, yeah, I'm open to it. Clippers need to go to Mars. Actually, that's where their fans already are at. You know, they're in Mars. That's why they actually believe they're relevant. So, Wizards fired their president, and it looks like they're going to be sellers. Would you trade for Beal and Wall without including Ingram, even if we wouldn't be able to have a max anymore? No. Nobody wants that John Wall contract. It's horrible. Go look at it again and then come back and talk to me, man. That thing is horrible. No, honestly, they'd probably give up anybody on their team and any draft pick just to get rid of that John Wall contract, and people still would consider it because that's a bad contract. And he's always injured. That's the worst part. DTLF, much knowledge. We appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you, guys. I'm humbled. If we at least win one more game, we might not be a top 10 lottery. Well, I will be kind of upset, and we can't. But can the Lakers at least fire Luke Walton in the offseason and trade 5 to 6 pick up? I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to want to trade to get a top pick. This is the first offseason where I have no clue what they're going to do. But I do know what they should do, and I will be dropping a video actually coming tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, man. I'll be working diligently tonight and probably in the morning, and should come in the afternoon, maybe in the PM. But just stay tuned, guys. Guys, I got a good video coming for you guys. I haven't dropped one like that this season because I was doing mainly live streams, which is what we prefer. But man, I got some good content, and I can't wait to give that to you guys. You say, okay, I haven't looked at Wall's contract. Yeah, man. Trust me, nobody wants John Wall's contract. Bradley Beal's not even worth taking on John Wall. If they said to the Lakers, take John Wall off of our hands and we'll give you Bradley Beal, all you have to do is give us a draft pick. The Lakers will probably still say no, simply because John Wall's contract is trash, man. It's horrible. I'm ready for the offseason and the draft. Me too, J Tuck. I can't wait to bring you guys major content, guys. It's going to be exciting. Also, we'll be covering partially some of the playoff games, so still look forward to some of the live streams and reacting to hopefully a really good playoffs series, this season. I know I said I wasn't going to support the NBA and all that, but man, I was really emotional that day, and I love basketball all in all. So I will be watching certain series, tuning in here and there, but man, it was tough. After that Houston Rocket game, it was tough, man, to wrap my head around that because James Harden gets so many crazy calls. Dan got a lot of good content this offseason. Can't wait. Keep going, Dan. I got you, bro. Yeah. John Wall's contract is, I don't know. That's the reason I believe their GM or their president, whoever got fired, that's the reason they got fired, man. That John Wall contract just basically hampered them for years to come. So, Northridge, Los Angeles. Okay, so I was right. You're from LA. So, yeah, I already answered your question. Thanks, bro. He said, you should stream the draft lottery. I can't stream the actual draft lottery, but I could stream my reaction to it live as it happens, and that's what I do every year. So keep it locked. I got you. It will be interesting. I'm going to be nervous, bro. The draft lottery makes me so nervous. This year, maybe not so much because regardless, wherever we get our pick, we're keeping the pick. But the past seasons when we had the potential of losing the picks, I was so nervous, guys. I was jumping up and down. Just nerve-wracking. I get crazy. Here are my top prospects. Romeo Langford, Kevin Porter Jr., Keldon Johnson, Cameron Johnson, and Nazir Little and Dylan Windler. Yeah, man, I got my own list that I'm gonna drop to you guys and a specific order or whatnot. But that's coming in the off season, man. Can't give that away to you just yet. But that's not a bad list. I'll say that. Cam Reddish is nice too. There's some sleepers in this draft that people really aren't talking about because the draft is top heavy. With Ja Morant and Zion and RJ, but there's plenty of sleepers there that could potentially even be better overall players in their career than the top three. You never know. Happened before. That 84 mil was John Wall's first contract, LMAO, not new max. He said, it's BS how we lost the pick last year. We could have had Colin Sexton. Mitch and Jim put us in that position. We were going to lose our pick regardless, but it's better that we lost a late lottery pick than an early one. Dan, I was wrong. My hometown is Compton, CA. That's right, Austin. That's where I'm from too, bro. He said, why exactly are people so high on Zion? Do you buy the hype? Well, man, I'll tell you what, bro. Let me tell you something. Zion Williamson is one of these transcendent type players. Now, can he shoot consistently from the outside to keep the defense honest? We will find out, but he's an elite slasher. He seems to be an elite rim protector at the last level. Let's see if that'll translate to the NBA. And he's just an elite athlete. We haven't seen an athlete like that since LeBron. So, it's going to be – and with that size and strength, people are even talking about playing him at center, which I don't agree with. To me, his position is going to be the 3 or the 4. But, again, it's small ball, NBA basketball. I wouldn't be shocked if they played him at center sometimes. But, yeah, man, it's going to be – Trae Young is going to be a hit. I don't think he's going to be a miss. But how big of a hit he's going to be is to be determined. And I always believe in young talent, man. I don't like to write anybody off because we've had guys like CJ McCollum who nobody saw coming out of college. We've had guys like Donovan Mitchell. We've had guys like even Damian Lillard out of Weber State. Guys nobody ever saw coming from college who end up having better careers than guys like Andrew Wiggins, who everybody thought was the next Kobe Bryant, or, Dante Exum, who the same thing, same comparison, Kobe Bryant. That's why you can't really you can't put all your stock into a draft pick, but at the same time, you can't write them off. Like, I feel like Markelle Fultz was written off too early. If he really had a problem with his shoulder injury and he fixes that, watch out. He could actually be a pretty decent player. I think Jahlil Okafor even was written off too early. I feel like under the right circumstance, he can still make an impact. I get it. The NBA is not for that type of skill set, but, man, where there's a will, there's a way. Honestly, we could use the I don't know how to pronounce that name. He said John Wall, new one is 5 years, 170 mil. But let me tell you something. John Wall is out of this world, man. John Wall, his contract is not going to get picked up by anybody. I think they're going to have to end up amnestying him at some point, or cutting him from the roster and paying him that like 50% or something like that. They're going to have to set it up if they ever want any flexibility, and they're probably going to have to stretch him for the next couple of years or something, man. If they're in rebuild mode, then they don't care about having that big old contract there till it ends. But if they ever start competing, if they want to keep Bradley Beal, which I doubt, they're going to have to stretch him. And I just don't see how that's going to happen. Dan, would you rather have Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker? Kyrie, because Kyrie has been a champion already. Kyrie already had chemistry with LeBron, and they could easily reignite that. And they know each other's game, and I feel like he could just plug and play. Everywhere Kyrie has gone, he has been a beast. In Cleveland, he was a beast. He adjusted to LeBron pretty well and became a star. And then he went to Boston, and he helped carry that team, even though they blame him for a lot of their mishaps and stuff like that. But all in all, I think Kyrie Irving on the Lakers would be really fun to watch. Kyrie Irving, to me, is a mix between Allen Iverson as far as handles and crossovers and stuff and ability to get to the basket, and Chris Paul, because he's a very good floor general. He can make teammates better, plays the pick and roll extremely well. That's why I'm really high on Kyrie. However, I haven't watched him since he became a Boston Celtic, just like I haven't watched Zubac since he became a Clipper. If you guys know me, those are my top 2 hated teams, starting with the Boston Celtics at top. So, yeah, man. Honestly, Kyrie would be a great addition. So, Dan, who would you rather have? Which max free agent do you see realistically signing with the Lakers in the offseason? I think sky's the limit, man. I think people are underestimating LeBron's ability to recruit. Don't forget, and I know that a lot of you guys underestimate the fact that you could come out in a movie in LA and live in one of the best cities in the world, but that could be a major recruiting pitch for LeBron. What if LeBron says, "Hey, yo, KD, you want to come out of Space Jams, bro? Join me with the Lakers. Build your brand up, and then you could have a major role in the movie." I know. KD was interested in becoming a movie star back in the day. He dropped a movie called Thunderstruck, which was a flop. But a bigger name movie like Space Jams would probably boost his his resume. I'm not saying it'll happen, but I'm saying I think LeBron has some recruiting pitches. Also, we have Magic under the belt. I mean, a lot of players love Magic Johnson. I think that's underestimated by the media, especially. Even if fans are starting to hate him because he traded away young talent, other players love Magic, and that's something you got to know. Like when you play for front offices that don't listen, front offices that don't have your best interests at heart and are just there to sell tickets, and then you look at a front office like the Lakers who really want to get back on top, I think that's a selling point for sure. But I'm not saying it's going to be KD. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's Kawhi. I make no promises this year, but anything's possible. I don't take it out of account just like the media is doing. Nah, I don't buy into all that, man. You said the Lakers get KD, it's over for the league. I think so, but again, KD is very unpredictable. You don't know, man. You don't know. KD's so unpredictable that I wouldn't even be shocked if he went back to the Thunder. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked. That's how unpredictable KD is. Everybody's pegging in KD with the New York Knicks, but I've heard rumors that he's not a fan of James Dolan, and he doesn't like that they've used his name to sell tickets. He doesn't like that. So we'll see. Dan, is it strike one for Magic and Rob? Actually, I think it's strike two. I think it's strike two for Magic and Rob. Strike one was just leaking everything out there and really hampering our chances of getting certain players via trades. That was strike one. Strike two, to me, was trading a player like Ivica Zubac and Julius Randle not getting nothing in return. That's strike two. Strike three would be not landing a max free agent. So they have one more shot to get it right this offseason. I still believe in them. Let's hope. Would you ever consider trading LeBron and building our young core? LeBron is great, but still out of his prime. Look, man, I understand that LeBron's getting older. However, you can't ignore the fact that he still put up 27, 7, and 7. Those are MVP-type numbers. He hasn't really declined as far as production goes. Where LeBron struggles is leadership. I feel like he needs another player to come here and help him lead. KD would be perfect. Kawhi would be perfect. Kyrie would be perfect, even though people question Kyrie, but I think that's what it is. And he's not playing D anymore, but for a lot of part of his career, he took a lot of possessions off on defense. If you have a good anchor in the back and you have Lonzo up front helping, all he needs to do is play in between the lines. So I wouldn't trade LeBron for two reasons. Number one, because he's still putting up the numbers and he's producing, and we haven't had a superstar in a long time, and we have one now. And number two, because it just looks bad to the rest of the league, and it would hamper our chances of getting free agents. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but free agents are always aware of what's going on. And that's the same reason that I believe the Clippers won't be able to land two max free agents. They'd be lucky to get one after what they did to Blake. People don't forget that stuff. They don't. Do you think anyone wants to join LeBron? You'd be surprised. LeBron is not Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant didn't really make friends around the league. LeBron has. LeBron has friends around the league. LeBron talks to players consistently. LeBron is consistently recruiting. I feel like, and I've made this observation, I like to read body language. If you guys look at LeBron, he doesn't look miserable. He doesn't look like somebody who regrets coming to LA, who's never going to win a championship. He doesn't look like somebody who doesn't believe he can recruit somebody. Matter of fact, he looks the opposite. He looks like somebody who's relieved because he's going to get to take a year off. He's been in the playoffs year after year after year. There's going to be a nice change up for him and his body to recover, and I think he's going to come back stronger than ever next year. That's number one. Number two, he looks like a player who already has another player in his back pocket. I think he knows something that we don't know. And remember, LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh all recruited each other before even the season before that summer when they went to Miami. So I think LeBron is already recruiting players. I think he might have somebody in his pocket already. That's why he's dancing and happy even though they missed the playoffs. That's why he's not worried about the media talking crap because he's going to shut them all up next year. It could even be Kawhi Leonard. It could even be KD. It could be Kyrie. I don't know who it is. But my gut feeling tells me that LeBron already landed somebody in his mind. Now, will that plan follow through? I don't know. Players change their mind. You never know. But all I know is that he looks very competent, very, very confident, and he doesn't look like somebody who the media is describing, oh, LeBron's never going to win a championship unless the Lakers have a major haul. Oh, LeBron must be regretting going to LA. He doesn't look like that, what the media is describing. So, this could be a blessing in disguise as far as LeBron getting an offseason. Us, the front office, having pressure to land a big star or two this summer and having a draft pick. All that combined could be very good for us if we play our cards right, but we have to play our cards right this summer. That's what I'm saying. I got a lot of content for you guys, and it'll be interesting to see how this all unfolds. And the funny thing is, we're already in April. Time's going to fly by. I know it's going to feel slow because the Lakers aren't playing, but April, then we have May, then June, and then July. So really, I don't count this month. The way I see it is this month, it just started. It's going to fly by like this because playoffs are going to start. They're going to keep us entertained. Then the lottery's around the corner. Then it's going to be the finals in June. And then July, just like that, we're going to head into free agency. But before that, it's going to be the draft, of course. We got a lot of stuff to cover, and then we're going to break it down month by month. People has to understand that he has been to 8 consecutive NBA finals. I agree with that. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like at some point he needed to let his body recover. And I think this is the year for that. LeBron's been putting up 27, 8, and 8 a while, not being close to fully healthy. That's what I'm saying. I think, this season was a failure from the standpoint that we expected to make the playoffs. However, the front office can redeem themselves in one summer, and everybody that's saying fire Magic, everybody who's disrespecting him, saying he has AIDS, all this garbage, all these disrespectful people. As soon as they make it right, they're gonna jump back on the bandwagon and they're gonna say, "I always knew Magic could do it," because that's how these fair weather fans are. They're gonna say, "I love Magic and Rob, blah blah blah." Look, man, I'm gonna tell you this: if you're on that side of the line right now, just stay there. If you're on this side, cool. But if you're jumping off the wagon right now, I don't want to hear any praise to this front office in the future. All I'm saying is I recommend to be patient. Let's see what they do this summer. Now, if they fail again, if they do something stupid like trade all the young core for Anthony Davis and don't have nobody else and just pair up LeBron and Anthony Davis by himself without adding a third superstar free agent, then I would be really upset. If they do something stupid like trade away the young core for role players to surround LeBron with shooters, but no other star, I will be very upset, and I will agree with those of you who have trashed Magic. I won't trash him because I still respect him. The man's still a legend. What he did for the Lakers organization is still legendary. LA should never forget what legends do for you. We should never have short-term memory loss. Leave that for the Golden State Warrior fans or these other fair weather fans, but not us, man. We got to stay classy. So that's why I don't disrespect Magic. He's a legend. It's like if Kareem started coaching. Even if he was trash, he's still Kareem, man. He's still one of the GOATs. You don't disrespect players like that, especially Laker legends. So, come on. Magic arguably is the greatest Laker of all time, arguably. So, I can never disrespect him, ever. Ever. It's difficult to be patient for 6 years now. I'll feel better when Luke is gone. I completely understand that, Andrew. But the truth is that our impatience has actually hampered us further down, right? We've traded too much and haven't got enough in return. Love you too, Brian. I love you too, bro. So, patience can be a good thing. That's all I'll say. Because when you're not patient, you make knee-jerk reaction moves, and now everybody's destroying you for the D'Lo trade, the Julius trade, the Zubats trade. That's what impatience does. No shortcuts, man. He said, who is the best Laker in your opinion, Dan? The Laker that I saw his whole career, the one with the most killer mentality, the one that went through the most controversy, I think. So my favorite Laker of all time is the Black Mamba. And that's because he's the one who got me into basketball. That's because I saw him grow up. I saw him become a man. He inspired me. And that's for my own personal reasons. And he won 5 championships. So, yeah, he's my GOAT. And he's my greatest Laker of all time. However, I didn't watch the Magic Johnson era. I watched clips. I saw old games on NBA TV, and I saw how great he was. So to a lot of people, I know that Magic Johnson is the greatest Laker of all time. Plus, he's done a lot for the community and stuff like that. Referencing back to Nipsey Hussle, Magic Johnson has done a lot for the community of Los Angeles as well. So we should never disrespect legends, even if they have a rough stint with the Lakers, because these are legends, man. And I think Magic deserves a shot, at least one more summer to get things right. If he gets this right this summer, I promise you, he'll be the hero of LA once again, once we're holding up that Larry O'Brien trophy. So that's the reason I never disrespect legends, man. I don't have short-term memory loss. Sure, he's made a couple of mistakes along the way, but the man is human and he's a great human being. So I wish him the best, and I hope he can get the Lakers back on track. That way, half of LA that he's lost comes back on board. Hey, Dan, Lonzo is about to sue BBB. Any thoughts? No thoughts, man. I wish the young kid the best. You guys know I love Lonzo, and I love young talent, and I think young kids are the future. So I wish them all the best. Every young talent in the NBA, I wish them all the best. I hope that they're able to carry the torch as far as the NBA brand and are successful moving forward. LeBron is an independent contractor. Is it Russ got 20-20-20 for Nipsey? Yeah, man. I guess he was wearing that Nipsey sweater before. That crane shell sweater. So yeah, man. Good for Russ. Indo 420. Thanks, brother. I appreciate your donations, man. Thank you so much. Is it next year's lineup? Lonzo, Beal, Ingram, LeBron James, and maybe that all-star big from Orlando. We will see, man. It could be very different than what anybody perceives. Remember, nobody saw the Pau Gasol trade coming. It's something that just happens. I feel like the trades that we hear about rarely happen, and the ones you don't hear about, those are the ones. Nobody saw the Reggie Bullock trade. Nobody, especially the Muscala trade, nobody ever saw that coming. So just don't be taken back when it's somebody different, man. Devin Booker to LA. Look, man, the numbers Devin Booker's putting up, very good, but they're coming in losing efforts. To me, winning is more impressive than, being a Gilbert Arenas type player. Gilbert Arenas was great. He put up 60s, but most of the time they would end up losing. So I prefer the player that is an impact player, who actually elevates their team. I prefer 30 points with a win than 60 points in a loss, if you know what I'm saying. So that's why Devin Booker, as much as I like him as a young talent, I don't think he'd be worth giving up everything they're going to ask for him. They're going to ask for Ingram, they're going to ask for Kuzma, and they're going to ask for that draft pick, and potentially even Lonzo, just because of the numbers that Devin Booker's putting up. Trust me, nobody wants to trade for the Lakers and make a fair trade. Everybody wants to rip us off. So our best bet is to keep the young core and add through free agency. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. That wraps it up for me. Look forward for that video tomorrow, guys. I can't wait. I'm going to be working on it tonight and tomorrow morning. Hopefully I get it done by noon, and I'll drop it. It's going to be an interesting one, so stay tuned. I want to surprise you guys, so I'm not even going to give you guys the title yet. But just have a great night, guys. We collected another L. 4 more games to go. Hang in there. Season's almost done. We're going to have a lot to cover. Thank you so much. Don't forget to leave that comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great night, Laker Nation.